We invite everyone to address our assembly with words of inspiration, lessons learned, or passionate ideas. Every opinion expressed here is strictly that of the person who gives it. Let us consciously and lovingly agree to disagree if it does not resonate with us. The topic for today is Be Here Now, Present and Listening. It is my pleasure to present Michele Jones as our speaker for today. You can come on up. I'm going to give the bio with you standing right here. Now, come on up.
You're doing such a fantastic job.
Well, thank you. Michele Jones, this is her bio. Michele Jones has a master's in conflict analysis and resolution with a background in counseling and crisis intervention. She is an international life coach, teacher, and group facilitator, and will be leading the church's upcoming group on revisiting the insights from the Celestine prophecy. Through the years, she has worked with a broad spectrum of people in a diversity of fields and through many years in the not-for-profit world. Michele has learned to juggle many jobs and responsibilities and wears a multiple of hats. In short, a cat herder and chief bottle washer. And I introduce Michele Jones. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Wow. Okay, first, I want to say it's so good to be here again and to see all of you. And hi, Zoomers. It's a little intimidating being up here, so give me a second to absorb all of this. And for about the past year and a half, I've been Zooming. So it's good to be back here, and it just feels good to absorb the energy. So thank you for that. Good to see you all. Okay, so today's message is Be Here Now. And forgive the notes, because if I don't go by the notes, I'll go way over and I'll get a cane pulled at me. Okay, so be here now. Simple words, right? Be here now. Hard not to be. Well, the here, the H-E-A-R, that's a little harder. But to be here now. Simple words, right? Wherever you go, there you are. But it's a simple statement for our physical presence. And life is never simple, is it? Sometimes we wish it were. But it's not. And where's the fun in that anyway, right? We need some of that spice in life. We are here to experience life in this realm. The joy, the beauty, the hardship, the lessons. We're here to grow and experience and learn from the lessons and feel that success when we overcome them and feel the love when we reach out to others who are there to help us overcome those. But it takes being here now and being a part of that. And I know that I'm not alone. I can look throughout the room and Zoom and later the YouTubers. We've all experienced hardship. And that's part of this experience, is we experience that, is we get to learn there. So here we are. Now, at this point, I want to share a story. Last month, I went home to South Florida, which is where I'm from. Went there for a wedding and for Easter with the family. And we're sitting at the wedding and, just before it's about to start. And I don't recall why my cousin said this, but she said, we're right where we're supposed to be. And to which her husband just did one of these, shook his head, just. So, she holds his arm and she just laughs and says, I promised Dean I would stop saying that. And now I have to tell you, sense of humor runs strong with certain members of my family. So we're not averse to ribbing each other and teasing one another. So he leans in and he goes, too much. We're in gridlock traffic. And all it is, you can count on it, you're going to hear, we're right where we're supposed to be. He said, it's too much, it's too much. But yet, we're teasing throughout all of that. A week later at Easter, he was one of the biggest champions to that. He said, yeah, because I had mentioned how much she had been on my shoulder that week, saying you're right where you're supposed to be, dealing with some technology issues and all kinds of, it was supposed to be a working vacation. And so she was right there, right where you're supposed to be. So we're having this conversation at Easter, and he says, as much as I tease her, she's so right. And when you think about it, that's not a new statement to any of us, is it? We've all heard it, but sometimes you need that fresh perspective. You need that fresh voice right there saying, right where you're supposed to be. And to me, it helped. It was helping to center me, to help me get focused that week, to just remember. And so the reason that I'm sharing this with you is because just like Susan was on my shoulder that week, and I'm hearing, you're right where you are supposed to be. I invite you to let Michele be on your shoulder. When you need that grounding, to just remember, when you need that whisper, when you need that calm, let these words wash through you. You're right where you need to be. And that we get to, and to be here now. And okay, I jumped ahead. So sorry. Because sometimes we need that. And the reminder is that you're right where you're supposed to be. It might not be where you want to be. Might not be where you think you should be. It might be like a dean of enough. But you're right where you're supposed to be, nonetheless. And God, source, our universal source, energy, knows and sees so much more beyond the veil of this earthly prism, right? So what we want to control, what we think we need to be doing, isn't always the truth, right? But we are right here where we are supposed to be, interconnected to each other in ways beyond our imagination. We're all connected, experiencing the highs, the lows, the lessons, the joys, the hardships, the love. And when you think about it, every second changes and evolves as life moves forward and time progresses. So whether it's that hardship that you just feel like you're never going to get through it, or it's that wonderful anticipation, just one of the highs of your life that you're experiencing, be there, be in that present moment, not in the past, reliving something that you cannot change, or imagining how some future event will play out, or reliving a conversation from yesterday or 1,000 yesterdays. Be here now, pay attention to the details, and let the future unfold as it will. Easy peasy lemon breezy, right? Sure, we're all sitting here. That's easy to sit and think about that. But it's not always that easy, is it? No. Life throws us curveballs, and we're here. We're here physically, but where is your mind? Because that is the true power of being here now. We've got to have our mind focused on it. And come on, confess. How many of us are already thinking, I wonder what I'm going to eat when we're done. Do I still have clothes in the dryer? Wait, did I close the garage door? We can't help but multitask. We can't help but be 1,000 different places. And that's the beauty of our imagination, right? That is our brain. We are able to create and manifest, and we are thinking of so many different things all at once. But then we lose that present moment. So there's a beauty of it, and it's that double-edged sword. So it's all in balance. It's just learning how to balance these things. And so keeping in mind that we're right where we're supposed to be, I get to do this, be here now. We all have things that we pull our awareness back in. And that's really, it's just, we just need to practice that a little bit more. Okay. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I hadn't missed anything, sorry. In my next life, I'm coming back with a real memory, and I wouldn't need these notes, but in the meantime. Okay, I'm going to throw myself under the bus a little bit and give you a good example. Like I said, last month I was at home, South Florida, and I'm native Floridian, born and raised a couple miles from the beach. I grew up at the ocean. So that's my place. So I'm walking the beach before sunrise with my dog, year-old Dutch Shepherd. And it was the morning after I had spoken to Lydia about what the topic was going to be. And I had some ideas floating around. And all of a sudden, it just started flowing to me. Now, being a native Floridian, and the ocean is my space. That happens to me. Sometimes it's like turning on a water spigot, just boom. And I want to take a moment here because my intention is not just to speak here. I had a little side intention that I want to share with you, because the ocean is that for me. That's where I'm closest to God, where I'm closest to me, where I'm closest to my true self. And my most open and creative and vulnerable and every bit of emotion and feeling. And my intention and my prayer for each of you here and Zoomers and YouTubers and wherever from all over is that you know that place. You don't have to live there. And if you know where that is for you, that personal spot for you, yes, I hope you spend as much time there as you can. And if you don't have it, that is also my prayer that you find it, because it's just, okay. So anyway, that was just a little side that I wanted to share with all of you, that I've sent that intention out for everyone, that energy. Okay, so back to my walk on the beach. Where was I? Trick question. One of my favorite places and times on earth before the sun is coming up. Was I enjoying it? Was I savoring it? It was right here. It was right here. Well, okay, last week. It was before Dave and I had switched. But that's what I was doing. I was at one of my favorite places where I no longer live, but instead I was right here, thinking about, oh yeah, that's perfect. And I'm putting notes in my phone and multitasking. And the irony was not lost on me. Be here now keeps ringing into my head. Be here now, be here now. And so the irony was not lost on me. And I listened, and I put a couple of finishing notes in my phone so I wouldn't lose anything. Again, that memory. And then I put it away. And now I want to tell you what I then noticed, what I then was open to paying attention to. So you have to picture it. I'm there walking in that soft sand and feeling the water lap on my feet. The dog is, happy as can be. And here's the sun just starting to go, just starting to make its appearance. The clouds, these wispy creations, and I love clouds. So the reds and the oranges just starting to filter. And so I hear the surf. And there's also the moon. The moon was still out. The moon was right there. So I've got the sun there and the moon right there. And it was shining on the water. And do you know that I almost missed that moon? How huge is a moon? It was bright and shiny. It was more than that. And I was so focused on other things, I was not there. And it's those details, even big ones like a shining moon. It's easy to miss. And we do that even in the good things. I mean, here's one of my favorite places on earth, and I'm almost missing it. So I'm happy to report that coming back to awareness, and I was able to witness all of that and be a part of it and be fully present in that. And so use that as an example. And so for me, the ways that I pull myself back into awareness of be here now, right where I'm supposed to be, whether it's in gridlock traffic or sitting waiting on a train, I get to experience that in this physical realm. I get to. And I'm curious, and I hope that some of you will be able to share afterwards, because I know in this room we've got some powerful meditators, and you're all here. So I'm curious to know what some of your tools might be of how you bring yourself back into that be here now, that present moment. One of mine, like I said, is the I get to. How many in here are familiar with Regina Brett? Columnist, local from Cleveland. She was with the newspaper, and now she's a podcaster and all of that. Anyway, her first book, God Never Blinks, is from some of her most famous. Anyway, if you haven't read it, highly encourage you to. Very inspiring. The first lesson has to do with I get to. And I have used that as a tool with my students, with friends, with everyone. I get to. So even when I am experiencing a hardship or a tough time, I remind myself, I get to, and it changes the perspective. So if I look at it as I get to experience this problem for the gazillionth time in my life, I get another opportunity for it to click, to finally learn the lesson. So it's not just in the good things, it's in the negative stuff also. It's a way of balancing, and that's really what it comes down to, is balancing. And I get to. It's that shifting of perspectives. So be here now, right where we are supposed to be, and get to. And breathe. Be here now. We get to experience the love and the energy of each other, and the connection and the interconnection of us all. And even when we reach the times like Dina, no, it's too much. It's supposed to be there, not here. It's supposed to be right there. It's all right. Breathe. Let it flow out. Because the more we allow it to flow and breathe out, the less sticky those things are. And it's easier to get out, to flow through. Does take practice, though. Okay, so before I open for questions and comments and thoughts and other tools that you guys may use, I was invited to speak here because we're working on a series from the Celestine Prophecy, a group. It'll be Zoom group. And so for those of you who are familiar with the book, a lot of this already resonates with you because the book has been around. This is more revisiting it. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the book, being here now, being present, allowing, knowing that we are where we are supposed to be, letting go of the restrictions, the assumptions, the power dynamics that distract us, that are part of the being human. That's a lot of what the book is about and what we'll be going over, and just learning how to practice to get that balance. Okay. So I hope to see you all in the Zoom room. And hi, Zoomers. Good to be on this side. Okay. Questions, comments, tools. What questions do you all have? Fran. Okay.
I find most of the time when I get to a place that's not a good place for me, it's caused by other people, you know?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
What I practice, and it works for me, is I practice. I took 2 classes on Father Anthony DeMello, and one of his main things he didn't coin it, but is what other people think of you is none of your business.
Mm-hmm.
And I really live by that. And then also at the end, you say, mind your own business. And that reminds you to take it back to yourself, you know,
Right.
that you have control over the things in your life and how you react to them and what you let it do to you.
Right.
So that helps me bring myself back to a good space.
Good. Yeah, and for the Zoomers, Fran was mentioning that what other people think of you is none of your business, and it really is true. And being here now, keeping that in mind, of a lot of the stress is by the people around us, and it's how we react, right? Because we have our own filters, we have our own things that's also going on with our reactions. And so, yeah, remembering that's a great tool. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
I always look through nature.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, Zoom. So through nature, I think that's a great way of connecting in with being present in the moment, watching my dog, watching the birds, just being outside like you at the beach. For me, it's the woods. But that's a real grounding. And I also appreciate you saying that, yes, you're in the situation for the 1001st time. and that the vision of gratitude is I get to choose differently. I get to experience it and maybe approach it differently. And that can be very liberating and get you off your own hook. It's like, why am I doing this mistake again? Get myself off my own hook. I got something else to learn. I can choose different. So thank you for that perspective, and thank you for your talk.
Thank you. Yeah, it puts you in that mind. Oh, sorry. It puts you in that mindset of, fresh horizon. Okay, forget all of the other ways that I've dealt with it. Now I have another opportunity. Yep.
I'm being a good host here. Yeah, okay. Here we go.
I'm not used to talking to the microphone, but for me, it's hard to let go when maybe someone has wronged me, and so I'm kind of ruminating on it and wishing things were different, and how universe will punish them for what they've done to me. And so for me to let go, I just go to the idea of radical acceptance. It is what it is right now, and someone told me once the idea of I've done my best, let him do the rest. And so it's just kind of letting go.
Thank you. And my challenge today was the listening, because there's chainsaws out there. So, for me, I have to be present. I have to listen. over there. That's just my brain, how it works. So thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for beating my
Can I just
timer too.
respond
You
For
may.
her real fast.
Please do.
Thank you for sharing that. And that is one of the challenging things, when that's reliving. It might be something that happened 1,000 yesterdays ago. That's exactly the example. So thank you for that. And it is hard, and it involves forgiveness. It involves, you can't change that, and learning of ways to take care of yourself with grace and love and support, as one of my friends would say. So thank you.
Anyone else would like? Oh, 1, 2. We have time. Okay. I'm back in the back row. Here we go.
Actually, this is more than a little personal, but 25 years ago, my husband died. And in that process of his being ill, I was very busy taking care of things, and I must do this and must do that. Everything had to be perfect. Well, I fell and hurt my knee, and I could no longer be busy about all these other things. And it came to me all of a sudden, he will be gone, and I will not have treasured the moments that were there because I was too busy about many things. So because I hurt myself, I was, sitting with him, and he was holding my hand, and I said, I want to feel this forever and remember it. And 25 years later, I do, because I was totally in the moment.
Wonderful example.
Thank you. That's a lesson for all of us.
Thank you for that. That was so beautiful sharing. You too. I'm going to talk to you also, but thank you for sharing that. I got goosebumps as you were saying that. So beautiful and powerful and reminder. And thank you, Michele, for this reminder. I'm not going to go into all of it, but I had this experience this past week where I was ready just to shut down a part of my life and run away, which is a pattern. And I understand, and this is a mother wound as well. My mom practiced, you all have heard me talk about it, geographical cure, just get up and move, and to deal with issues. And then dealing with my taxes reminded me how grateful I need to be, and reminded me to be grateful again. And that's what always brings me back to center, is being grateful. And even when I'm in moments of anxiety, high anxiety, is just stopping in the moment and being like, okay, what is happening right now? The window's open, the day's nice, and just ticking off and just coming back into center. So thank you for that reminder. And then I wanted to add right there, when you said 1,000, what did you say, 1,000 yesterdays? Are you writing a book with that title? Because I saw that immediately, that yes. And I got goosebumps even saying it. So yeah, hairs on the back of my neck, and yes. So yeah, I look forward to reading it. Thank you for today.
Okay, thank you so much, Michele.